You're listening to Country Music Junkies, hosted by Patrice Whiffen. This week on Country Music Junkies, I'm so pleased to be catching up with Jason Blaine. Jason, how you doing?
Hey, Patrice, I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing very well, thank you. Now, we just finished the CMA Ontario Awards in London. We missed you, but obviously with everything going on in the world, you had to stay in Nashville. Did you tune in to see any of the award highlights or anything like that?
I caught a lot of them on Instagram, honestly, and Facebook. I saw videos and stuff that people posted, and I just want to give all the props and credit to the CMA of Ontario. Everybody did such a great job. Everybody on the committee. I know that you're involved as well. Like everybody just did such a great job to put that on and save the show. I really wish I could have been there because it's always great to see all my friends and just look like a bunch of fun.
Of course. Yeah, no, we definitely missed you, but we're looking forward to getting everyone together, hopefully more safely next year. But it was weird. Like all of our Nashville talent weren't able to make it, so it was definitely a different award show, but it was still a lot of fun, and glad that you could tune into some of that as well. Now, you have been very busy in Nashville working on some new music, which I am so excited for fans to hear. You've got a new EP just dropped on October 23rd called Go With Me. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, I'm really excited to get this out because we've had this EP pretty much done since for a year now. We
Oh,
were
no
supposed to
way.
release it back in. Yeah, it was done for a while. It's been done for definitely a year. We were just going to release it in March. I was on the radio tour when all of the COVID stuff hit, and then we had to quickly fly back to Nashville and then head into lockdown. And so we just decided to just hold off on everything till we can get a sense of what's going on. And because we weren't able to do a lot of the things we wanted to do, we were going to do some pop-up EP release shows and stuff and around different parts of the country.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, we're gonna do some fun stuff. But that's okay. We're gonna do some different stuff. A lot of it's gonna be virtual. And but Go With Me. It's just a really cool collection of 6 songs I'm excited about. And they're all different. They're all me. And it's just again, it's just kind of runs the gamut, covers the range of different stuff that I love, and hope that fans will love too.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you've always released really great songs, really great stories, but I feel like this project in particular is very authentic and true to yourself as a husband, as a father, as a country artist. Would you say that this is maybe a more personal project for you?
I think I've been doing a pretty good job of that. At least I've tried to for a very long time. And sometimes even I might get criticism from the ones that love you the most, your family or whatever. My brother would joke and they'd be like, "Oh, let me guess, another record about how much you love your family and
Oh,
everything is great in your world." And I'm like, "Oh gosh, that sounds terrible," but I really can't really do much else than sing about things that I know and things that I'm feeling and things that are on my heart. And I have, and there's been occasions on records where I'll just kind of go to a place and I'll just imagine a heartbreak song, or
right.
it might have been written with a co-writer who's been going through something, and I just happen to love the song and then really empathize with the situation and like the way it felt to sing it. So I'll go there for a song or two because I know that the music is for everybody. You don't have to be necessarily going through something because somebody out there might be going through something and they're not in a happy place or whatever.
For
Music
sure.
is therapeutic for everybody. So I'll go there for a song or two, but I typically won't fill a whole project full of stuff that I can't identify with
Of
personally.
course. Yeah, totally. That makes a lot of sense. This project, for those who haven't heard it, a really nice eclectic mix of songs, mix of stories. Is there a particular song off the EP that particularly proud of, we'll say?
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, I'm proud of a lot of them in a lot of different ways. If I could talk about them for just a minute, there's one that stands out for me a lot. I'm proud of them on different levels. There's a song called "Hell of a Band Up in Heaven," and I'm particularly proud of that one. It was co-written with Jordan Reynolds and Joe Clemens, and Jordan is well, they're both terrific writers. Jordan has been killing it here in recent years with co-writes with Dan and Shay.
Oh,
Songs
cool.
like When I Take Tequila and Speechless and
Yeah.
10,000 Hours. So many songs.
Wow.
He had a big King and Country song too called God Only Knows with Dolly Parton on it. I think they won a Grammy. So
Oh my goodness.
this was a write I was really looking forward to, and I really wanted to bring a special idea to that co-write. And I had been carrying around Hell of a Band in Heaven in my pocket for maybe a month or more as an idea, because I had just been thinking about so many of my musical heroes that we've lost in recent years.
Right.
Thinking about Tom Petty, thinking about Merle Haggard and George Jones, and then of course, on the female side, people would reference, Aretha Franklin, and then recently, gosh, the list gets longer and longer, sadly, Joe Diffie and Van Halen this year, and John Prine. So I just started thinking about, this concept one night, kind of stared up at the stars going, wow, if you can get a peek inside heaven, must be one hell of a band up there, Chuck Berry playing with, everybody up there, and so I brought this concept because it made me smile. It's not depressing, it had some hope in it.
Of course.
And the guys loved it, and the song turned out really, really well, and I'm just really proud of how it turned out. But that's just one of them. Like, that was, the way that song turned out. And then, there's the title track, Go With Me, is an interesting song. I guess I would say that, one of my heroes is Garth Brooks, and Garth would always say that on every record there was one song for him. Like, he would write, or record most of the songs, for the fans and stuff, but he'd save one for him.
Right.
And I think that, I think Go With Me is that song. We had already recorded 5 songs, and I was writing with Miss Robin Collins and Johnny Simon, and Robin just was asking me about my wife and about our story, about how we came to move, to Nashville, and how long we've been together, and I just told her the story. It's just very, I don't know, it's very sweet, very lucky. We met in high school, and she really saw me do my first shows, and then moved with me to Southern Ontario, and then 5 years later, we had a baby girl that was 3 months old, and packed up, and put everything in storage, and moved to Nashville, Tennessee to follow this music dream, and she came with me, and I asked her to go with me, and I told her that story, and she's like, oh my God, she's like, we have to write that song. Aww. Have you ever written that song? And I said, well, no, she's like, well, why not? And I'm like, well, I don't imagine anybody, wants to go with me to that place to write that song, and it's like, it's just so personal, and I don't know that it would ever be a hit, or I don't want to, take up anybody's time, writing that if it's, I don't know if it'll ever be a single, but she's like, I don't even care. She said, I just want to love that song, love that concept, love your story. Let's write that. So we did, and she really helped me tell that story, and Johnny as well, and Johnny and I ended up producing it together the following day. And I just knew that, obviously, nobody else was going to record that song. That's our story. So it turned out really, really well.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a special video to go along with it, with a bunch of embarrassing photos from high school and along the way.
Oh my goodness, cannot wait to see that. That sounds amazing, and I love that. I love the story, and I love you also being so personal about your love story. With Amy, that's awesome. I also know that you worked with Danik Dupel on this project. What was it like working with him? I know you've done stuff with him in the past, and he's a good friend. But what was it like working with him?
Oh, it was great. And Danik is an incredible talent. He's an incredible producer, and I kind of, on the 5 songs that Danik produced, I just let him take the reins, and
right.
I really stayed out of his way. I tried not to meddle in or micromanage the production on this. I really just let Danik paint a sonic picture and bring these songs to life. And he's also a tremendous guitar player, as everybody knows.
Yeah.
Plays guitar as one of the founding members of Emerson Drive, and has played on countless records. So that was really cool, because I played a bunch of the solos, guitar solos on this record, and a bunch of different electric guitar texture stuff, and the tones and the way that that all turned out was really, really great. Some of the best stuff I've done, because I had Danik there with me. We played some of his amazing vintage guitars through great gear, and that was a lot of fun. Danik was super encouraging, and we got some great stuff down. And we had some fun with it too. Like some of the other songs on the record, like the first track, "Drink Too Much," is an outside song.
Yeah.
That was written by Josh Thompson, Josh Kerr, and Laura Belt, and that's just like crank it up, on a Friday or Saturday night, and have a couple drinks, with your girl or with your friends, and just blow off some steam from the week, and we just had some fun. We got country on that song, probably the most quote unquote country song on the EP.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Well, it's definitely, as I mentioned, a very eclectic mix of tunes, but that means fans are going to love it that much more. There's something literally for everyone on this project. Again, we're chatting with Jason Blaine about his EP, Go With Me, released on October 23rd. You got to grab it. You can head to jasonblaine.ca or anywhere that music is streamed to listen to it. And Jason, if fans want to connect directly with you, where's the best place for them to go?
Instagram, I think. I'm on Instagram more these days than anything. So Jason Blaine Official. Look for that blue check mark. Shoot me a direct message. Shoot me a comment on something with your questions. You're going to see me on there doing a live stream. Lots of live stream stuff coming up. So please tune in and follow along.
Perfect. Love it. Jason, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Patrice. I hope you're doing great up there and staying safe and getting through this crazy year.